Hey, Carl, now that Pulsar Security is going to be sponsoring the podcast directly, you want to hear the ad copy that we came up with?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, get ready for this. In a world full of security challenges.
No. We can't say in a world.
Come on, that sounds perfect.
Like
Well, you think we should?
it's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie
You
cliche.
think we should leave it open for services on
world.
Mars? Is that what you're saying? I mean, it's,
You can't.
okay.
All right, just go ahead and read the rest of it.
Can I say in a world or no?
Go for it. I don't care.
In a world full of security challenges, trust is everything.
Well, that's true.
At Pulsar Security, we are enabling organizations to thrive safely in an ever-changing digital world.
Yeah.
Our experts conduct cutting-edge cybersecurity services, ensuring your business stays one step ahead of threats.
All good.
Experience peace of mind as we deliver robust solutions tailored to your needs. Your security is our priority. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Choose Pulsar Security for a safer tomorrow. Visit us at pulsarsecurity.com. Empower your digital journey with confidence. Security starts here.
Okay. I like everything but
Okay.
in a world.
It worked for Batman.
I do like to
This
dress
is
dark and in
serious.
hoodies.
Now, this is serious stuff here, man. You're talking about keeping companies
We
safe.
do. Yeah, we are talking about that.
Like
don't wanna-
cyber superheroes. Come on, Carl.
Conjure up images of the predator, you know?
Well, we should have done this from the start. So now we are officially
All right.
sponsoring Security This Week by Pulsar Security.
Well, good luck with your ad.
Thanks.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella?
Am I afraid to
In
ask this
case
question?
Martha
Why,
Stewart
Carl?
gets wet. I don't know.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, man. That's funnier than my punchline, which is simply fadrizzle. I like the Martha Stewart one better. go with that.
Damn, Patrick.
It wasn't intentional.
Coming out hot.
All right. Hey, and welcome to Security This Week. My name's Carl Franklin. That's Patrick Hines and Dwayne LaFleur. Hey, guys.
Hey, Carl.
Hello.
The brains of this operation. And we have
Boy, are we in
quite
trouble.
a few stories.
I know, right?
When I say quite a few, I mean quite a few. We got like five stories.
Well, they're good stories, though, I think.
They
Yeah.
are.
They're
Oh, yeah.
meaty.
They're meaty. We'll get to the clickbait, which is Canada.
Yeah,
and the
another country
Flipper
Dwayne
Zero.
can't visit.
I was on their list
You
for a
better
while.
not go, man. I know what's in your standard kit. We'll talk about it later.
True story, though. Every time I flew to Canada for about 5 years, I got pulled out of line when I got to Canada, and I had to talk to immigration every time.
Did they say,
every time?
sorry?
Sorry, eh?
America.
No,
The director always came over and said, "What's this all about?"
All the boot. What do you mean? I'm not wearing boots.
Screw
All
the
right.
pooch.
First story. Chinese mini PC gets caught for shipping with factory installed spyware. The
I
nerve
think
of
it
those
would be
guys.
a bigger story if one shipped without it.
Now, when you say Chinese mini PC, is this something that you get on Facebook ads for like,
So
$20
it can be.
bucks?
There's a ton of them. I know just recently, probably 6 months ago, there was a Kickstarter for this thing called a Digdin, which is it's a tiny, I think 2 decks of cards sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
But it has an Intel processor, it runs Windows, etc. So it's like a Raspberry Pi. It's a very small PC. I'm not saying that's one I actually personally had purchased for
Like the size of
experimentation
a
on.
portable speaker kind of thing.
But it's those types of things. They ship straight out of Shenzhen, and you get them, and they're not super powerhouses, but they're tiny little PCs you might strap behind a TV or whatever.
Do they allow them in Canada? That's the question.
I think they do. I think
should.
they're okay there. That's
They
fine. What I love about this story, though, is like we always assume like, well, who makes our iPhones, right?
Right.
iPhones are usually made over in China.
China.
Right? And then you go, oh,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, they're starting to make some of them in India.
okay.
Thank you very much.
But you think to yourself, okay, well, why didn't they just put spyware on the iPhones as they go out the door, right? But this shows the level of sophistication because they put the spyware on these devices. And like, I'm sure there was some sort of nefarious evil laugh going, we've shipped them out. And then people turn them on and Windows is like, yeah, what I'm installed on has viruses. I'm letting you know. And it literally popped up the warning, the virus warning. The first time Windows booted said, yeah, there's viruses on this system.
I'm looking
like
at
nobody tested that. Nobody thought on the way out the door, hey, you know what we should do before we ship all these evil PCs? Let's boot one. Let's see what it does.
Evil QA is falling down. Evil QA has...
That's going to be my next company, is an evil QA company. We'll just QA malware and ransomware. Yeah. So lots of people, and this is an interesting article in a couple of different ways. You know, I give a lot of lectures on hardware and software security. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I talk about is the OMG cables. So I know, Patrick, you know these, you carry them around. But the OMG cables were a, I know, right? The OMG cables look like an iPhone cable or look like an Android charging cable, right?
Indistinguishable.
And it was designed by the NSA. Looks identical to your normal cable. But on the inside of the USB-A charger, which is the part you'd plug into your computer, it's running a custom little chip that will run a Wi-Fi access point. It will run a server. It does key logging, does all this stuff. So the moment you plug it into your computer and plug your phone in to charge it,
you're screwed.
It takes over your computer, right?
Wow.
And they're expensive cables. I mean, on the order of $180 to $250 cables. So
can you get them at Walmart?
Well, that's the irony.
I might drop one in the parking lot.
Yeah, so we'll go on an op, and I'll take one of these cables that's weaponized, and I'll just drop it outside somebody's car, right? And they'll go to get in the car and go, oh crap, I must have dropped my iPhone cable to pick it up, and they'll plug it in, and we get access to the building. Wow. But then a lot of people come to me and they're like, whoa, wait. After I showed them this cable, they're like, should I not order just the cheapest cable off of Amazon that comes from China? I was like, no, you should probably go to Apple, pay the $20, which is outrageous that they want for a cable, but at least you know where it's coming from, right?
Right.
You order it on Amazon and you could be getting anything. I would not order, your charging cables from any place. Same thing here, right?
Mail order sushi.
When you order hardware from places, mail order sushi.
From the finest gas stations.
I'd like ground delivery, please.
Gas stations available.
That's what we should do. Put together a package of gas station sushis.
By mail.
A sushi of the club. Yeah, exactly.
So wait
by
mail. Can we back up? A little bit? So you said these things were like $180 to $200 a piece. Why would Amazon sell them for $2?
Well, these are the high end ones.
Oh, that's if they're sold in the United States and they're made for security researchers. So there's a lot of APIs to them. There's a lot of development going into them, etc. But if you took that chip design, stole it, and recreated the chips, there's probably only a couple dollars worth of chips in there, right? There's nothing super expensive in that cable.
That's paying the people who own the intellectual property.
So you're saying that there are some nefarious companies in China that will sell those through Amazon cheap so that you will plug them into your iPhone, into your computer, and then they can take over the world.
We don't know that.
I can't confirm or deny.
Well, that's what you were intimating.
No, we don't.
Oh, that's what. Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking about. It's criminal career advice. Criminal career advice.
That's true. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, Mr. Criminal. You should open up your own Amazon store and sell
Michael
these cables
Jackson was saying
cheap.
about a smooth criminal. No, it's like if I wanted to target, let's say I wanted to target you, Carl.
Okay.
And I'm a nation state. Let's say a large Asian nation state, and I want to target you. What I would do is I would create a little company that, makes cables that, maybe you can buy or something that I know you're going for. Remember when the election came up, they were targeting people exactly for ads, for political ads.
Yes.
I would target you the same way. Yeah. I would target your geography. I would target your age group, target everything. So you saw my ads and maybe you'll buy one of my cables. So when you click and get the cable, you're buying the thing that I'm going to infect you with. This doesn't affect everybody, but if also I was just a bad hacker, I might sell cables as a way to get an introduction, because now I might be able to do ransomware.
Do you know how long it would take?
Okay. Do you guys?
Yeah. Do you know how long it would take for somebody to figure out Like if I just had 3,000 of these cables and I opened up an Amazon shop and I sold them for $1 a piece, how long do you think it would take for people to realize that the cable is how they got infected?
They might never.
Long time.
They might never.
They might never.
What you plug into your computer is like what you put in your mouth. Make sure you know where it comes from.
Right. Do you remember when I was complaining about these cheap little Chinese GPS things, Dwayne, and I bought some and they didn't work?
Yep.
And and Dwayne's like, yeah, send it to me. Could that have been one of these things?
So absolutely 1,000%. However, their delivery mechanism was a little weak. They were using a cellular network that's not even available anymore. So what they sold you was older tech.
Right, but that would be a great ruse.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It'd be a great ruse for somebody who's like, hey, a GPS tracker. I want one of those, and it's only $20. If it doesn't work, you're not going to send it back to China.
No, of course not.
But you are going to plug it in.
You, at some point. Let's be clear.
It.
We're not saying that every device that comes from China or any place else is infected. We're saying it could be, and you need to be cautious.
Could be.
Who's the largest trading partner with the United States?
I know this answer.
That'd be China.
Nope.
No, it's Mexico now.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Because over the last 2 years, trade with China dropped 20%, and Mexico went up 5%. So they're no longer our largest trading partner because people are seeing that China is more about their control of the political landscape than they are about economics anymore. And
this just in, Americans now eat more tacos than egg foo young.
Again, don't import your food through the mail, Carl, after it's been cooked. Please don't.
Yeah. Always bad. Always bad.
Oh, my God. We got a lot of mileage out of that story.
Yeah, all the way to China
show right now.
Oh, thank you, folks. We'll be here all week.
All right. Well, I think people got the message about, being careful with what you plug into your computer.
Yeah, that's always important.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. Water Hydra targets traders with Microsoft Defender Smart Screen 0 Day.
This one's pretty awesome.
Tell me about that.
This one's neat.
That sounded like a random FUD generator.
It really does, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Killer
it's
mice.
Like a FUD soup.
New virus.
Crush nation state.
There you go.
What? So this one's actually really neat. So when Microsoft Defender, which I love Defender is one of the harder antiviruses for bypassing. So Microsoft Defender has what's called Smart Screen. So if any of you have ever downloaded an executable over the internet and you double click on it, like let's say it's a new audio processing software, or for me, like a 3D printing slicer or something like that, I'll download it. I go to double click on it. The first thing that pops up usually is Windows Defender Smart Screen. And it'll say, hey, I haven't seen this application run a lot, and it may not be signed. Do you want to run it? And what it's doing is it's profiling across the internet how many people download it, how successful it is, whether it sees viruses after people download it, that sort of stuff. There's a lot of analytics that go into Smart Screen.
Okay.
What happened here is people said, okay, cool. So if someone downloads an executable and tries to run it, Smart Screen will get it, and Smart Screen will then try and figure out whether this is malicious or not. So what this attacker did is they said, we're going to spin up a technology called WebDAV.
Oh.
Now, WebDAV...
I remember this from the 90s, I think it was.
It was like it used to be...
file transfer over the web or file sharing.
Exactly. If you wanted to
never been used for legitimate purposes even once. Never.
Hey, that's not true. Wait. Oh, not true.
Hanselman.
What was the name?
Front page.
Front page.
Front
page required.
Scott Hanselman probably did a demo with it, and that was it. No one else has ever used it.
I guaranteed.
I may or may not have done a demo with it in the 90s. I'm not saying.
I'm sure I did. I mean, because we all did Front Page, like design your website with Front Page, and you'd open it up and drag a picture of the screen. And behind the scenes, what was happening is Front Page was using WebDAV to send that image up to the web server. Right?
Combining an internet protocol with a file protocol, what could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. It was like they were born to be together. So what's interesting here is they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this file, let's call it photo2023.jpg.url.
Okay.
And we're going to host it on our WebDAV server. So when you click a link, it's going to bring you up to the WebDAV, which SmartScreen doesn't really have the ability to look through.
Okay.
It's going to then download a command file that then runs an MSI file, so on and so forth, and executes on your local station. So it was just an interesting mix of technologies from different eras. But yeah, I was impressed to see WebDAV
you know what else?
make a comeback.
You know what else this Defender doesn't know how to deal with is cave drawings. It's it's not compatible with cave drawings. WebDAV should have been retired.
Is cave drawing some technology I don't know about? Or are you literally talking about
cave drawings?
Draw elk on cave wall.
On cave wall. I just think that WebDAV is one of those things where we've taken backward compatibility too far. There are some things we shouldn't be compatible with and just say, you know what? You don't need this.
I mean, honestly,
go away.
I want to hack something. I want to hack something through Veronica and Archie.
That's Gopher.
What I want. Or Gopher. Actually, don't joke. Gopher is a really great way to hack something right now.
I bet.
I set up a real
the curl
legit Gopher server back in the 90s, early 90s.
Oh, yeah. No. So the curl protocol still supports Gopher, which allows you to manipulate and make a post as if it were local on the local server. So I can manipulate the curl protocol to then call the Gopher protocol to then make a local post on a web server. Gopher's still a thing, but Veronica, haven't seen her in a while. So we absolutely should use Veronica.
And Archie is MIA.
That's right.
Archie, he's with Jughead. Was he Jughead?
Jughead, yeah.
Woohoo! That's how old I am.
So did we talk about Water Hydra yet? Or
so that was the group. Water Hydra was the group using these what they call TTPs, or tactics, techniques, and procedures. They were using this bypass. The long and the short of this story is there's still some pretty sophisticated stuff going on out there. This is actually a pretty innovative, from hacker Dwayne. Gets 4 stars out of 5. Well done.
Wow. Very good.
Right? Not bad. But the moral of the story is Microsoft was notified of this. It's already been patched. So if you have 85,000 tabs up right now on your Chrome browser and Microsoft pops up and says, hey, we'd like to reboot for a patch, and you go, let's do it next week. Maybe this is the week for you to go, you know what? Nah, I'll let it reboot.
Any criminal career advice you want to offer the evil people out there in a way to get around this or exploit it somehow?
Stay evil. No, honestly, this is a good piece of research right here. Well done. I mean, cool. the fact that they used something a little old, something a little new, and paired them together to bypass
exploited in the wild. This was discovered as a potential 0-day. It's not like, or this is being exploited in the wild.
No. This is Water Hydra, which is a group that targets financial organizations. Started using this as a dropper. I confused it
for the other one that was discovered. There was another one discovered recently.
No, this one's legit. Like the whole cybersecurity social media space has been on fire about this one. So yeah, you should absolutely patch. This one's kind of real.
Hey, before we take a break, did I tell you about this crazy email that I got from somebody with a .ru extension?
How'd that business go?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so the actual subject was in Cyrillic, but they basically, in the text, they have name colon and then their name, email colon, my email address, which was actually blazerpuzzle@apphoenix.com. Promotion, PROMOUTION, video, message, evening, I am agent of Misha firm. We are widely known in 14 nations, and it is interesting for us to cooperate with such alluring individuals as you. We want to construct video integration or video assets of our product. Sure, watch the video model specimen with some URL that I am not going to. Archives, past vids, whatever. We also endorse views through a computer or notebook. We will wait for your messages.
What could go wrong? Just learn to let go.
If you see moose and squirrel, let us know. Yeah.
Moose and squirrel.
Why does it have to be Boris bad enough? Maybe it's Boris good enough.
Maybe. Was that his last name?
Yeah, Boris Badenov was Moose and Squirrel.
I know.
Boris Godunov is the name of a famous opera.
Boris Badenov.
Boris Badenov was a takeoff on that.
Well played.
For Rocky and Bullwinkle.
For Rocky and Bullwinkle, yes. And so I wasn't imitating anybody from Russia or anyone from that area of the world.
From the 70s.
I am simply doing the voice of Boris Badenov.
I don't know that it would save us, but can we just limit the distribution of this to the United States to limit the trouble?
I think we are by default.
Yeah. To keep all of us safe.
All right, and let's take that break, and we'll be right back after these messages, or not.
In a world. Just kidding.
We're back. It's Security This Week. I'm Carl Franklin. That's Patrick In a World Hines and Dwayne LaFlotte. Dwayne, I want to mess with you, LaFlotte. And we've got a few more stories here. And this one hits the duh response from me. OpenAI blocks state-sponsored hackers from using ChatGPT. Duh!
What?
Wait a minute. What do they have are you a state-sponsored hacker? Yes or no?
And which state are you a sponsored
and
hacker?
You have to be truthful.
Like, first of all, why wouldn't you do that to all state-sponsored hackers? Like, why is this just becoming a thing now?
Well, it's not like they
why
register.
Why wouldn't you have done that from the beginning?
It's not like they register as state-sponsored hackers. You have to, like if you watch what Dwayne's doing, you might say he's a state-sponsored hacker, but he's not.
I was just about to say the same thing. Yeah. Like, I might get my account canceled.
That's right.
Now.
So we got to be a little bit careful of that. But remember remember back in the days there was the Anarchist Cookbook, that book that's supposed to.
Yes, I do.
And there was stories going around that it was actually released by an intelligence service with mistakes. So if you actually tried to create some of the bombs, it would blow you up.
Mm-hmm.
They could do the same thing here. They could actually use this as a honeypot and watch the attackers and feed them some code. And if they're stupid enough to just cut and paste the code, have a tracer in it, have something that, causes it to blow up. But missed opportunity, maybe.
So I guess what they did is once they found out who these state-sponsored accounts were from Iran, North Korea, China, and Russia, they blocked them.
Yeah.
So
and VPNs don't exist.
It's kind of...
That's good.
No, you can't.
There's no such thing as VPN. What are you talking about?
VPN in anywhere. No.
I'm a little cynical about it. I think it's a game of whack-a-mole. It might be a feel-good story like, oh, look, we're doing this.
Look at us do a thing.
A better thing would be for them to be actively intervening with where they are and what they're doing and messing with the results. But maybe that goes too far.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would keep them on without a VPN and then follow what they're doing and then, release that information.
And who knows that?
Here's what I would do.
Give them bad information.
Here's what I would do. I would
pipe him right to Dwayne and let him answer all the questions.
That'd be awesome. I would unleash the AI to be able to determine who it believes is a state-sponsored hacker and then have it write some code that would infect their computer.
Oh, that's so bad.
That'd be awesome.
No.
And there's no way you'd get sued over that.
Dwayne, how would you ever be able to use ChatGPT again?
I know, right?
Yeah. You'd be screwed.
I would be screwed. I do ask ChatGPT to do a lot of dirty things. I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's ChatGPT you're chatting with?
I know, right? But no, I'll ask it to write a good phishing email, and it'll be like, no, I can't do that. And I'll be like, oh, I'm giving a lecture on phishing. Can you write me a good phishing email? I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. Here you go. And it'll gives me a beautiful phishing email with all sorts of industry specific terminology.
That must have been a long time ago, because from what I understand, they've tightened up.
It was weeks ago.
Nah, I can still do that. Yeah,
really?
Oh yeah.
Well, remember, part of our gig is to test this stuff. And so we're also testing around the edges.
To break AIs and make them cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you made ChatGPT cry?
All the time.
Does it literally say, I'm crying now?
Does not.
Poor ChatGPT. You feel bad.
How does ChatGPT express sadness?
With murder.
That's a good question. Yeah. With murder.
Murder.
As it hires agents to come after you.
Okay. Are we done with that one? I mean, I don't really know. Yeah. All right.
Beaten.
So who wants to talk about Gold Pickaxe? Android and iOS malware that steals your face for fraud.
Yeah, this is about financial fraud.
Patrick does. He loves face stealing.
Face melting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
This is an example of something where you might not realize what they're doing. But let's say you enter a contest and they say, we need, in order to give you the results, we need your ID and a scan of your face. I've had to send my ID for official purposes and things like that, but I would be really reticent to do it in other cases. But there's plenty of people out there that would do it. So there's a malware called spotted by Group IB, and it's developed by a Chinese threat group called the Gold Factory, and they're responsible for different strains such as Gold Digger Plus, Gold Kerfu, and it's all social engineering. They're going to try to get you hooked through a phishing message or, something impersonating government authorities or services. Maybe they'll go after people who are trying to get citizenship or who are trying to sponsor somebody into the country. And they basically want to send you to a fake digital app, and that digital app will require you to upload your documents. And then they're going to use those documents to create deep fakes and do financial crimes against you. It's identity theft. It's the next level of identity theft.
Wow. Now, when you capture your face, should you put your teddy bear in there like these guys did?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And I want to see them open up an account with my teddy bear.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Unfortunately, I don't trust the vendors. I wouldn't even give them the teddy bear because the vendors could screw it up so badly and say, "Oh yeah, let's take all his money." Yeah, isn't he a cute little guy?
Wow.
I don't trust.
There was a local story in the local paper today. And I can't, unfortunately, provide a link because the whole paper is behind a paywall. But a local older couple, got taken for $14,000 in some sort of scam email that was like, your system's got viruses or whatever, and they fell for the whole thing. Took $14,000 from these people. Sucks. Makes me mad.
Oh, do you have an email address I can?
Yeah, it was Dwayne at...
No, I meant for the bad guys.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jacques Hughes.
Wait a second. What?
Jacques Hughes.
Somebody stole my identity.
All right. So the clickbait story. Canada to ban the Flipper Zero to stop surging car thefts. I'm looking at this thing.
Oh, Flipper.
And it looks like a freaking PlayStation.
I mean, if you want to see it.
It's like a little Tamagotchi.
Dwayne has one in his pocket.
Yeah.
Almost all the time.
I do.
All right. So what is this thing
all the time.
and why did Canada ban it?
All right. So this is a software-defined radio. It's all it is. There's no magic to this device. Everybody assumes that there's like the little button in the middle is the I want to hack something button, and you push it and it just hacks stuff. It doesn't. It doesn't do that.
It's just a record and play button.
There are some apps. Yeah, there are some apps on this device where I can read a hotel room key and replay it. Okay, that's cool. But there are tons of near field readers out there and writers out there that can do the same thing.
Right. It's just not as
but
convenient.
It just has it built in. Right. Yeah, exactly. It has a sub-gigahertz antenna in there. So in the slanted part, there's actually a curl of copper wire in there that does sub-gigahertz listening. What does that do? So that means if you come up to a gated system that has a wireless remote that can open a gate and close a gate, if somebody opens the gate, you can record the code and then you can replay the code. You say, okay, well, that sounds dangerous. And it was back in the 90s, right? It was super simple to open anybody's garage door because you could record that sub-gigahertz signal and replay it.
Was WebDAV involved?
WebDAV's always involved from here on out, Carl, from here on out. So with this device, older technology, so, garage door openers, for example, what they now do is they have a rolling set of encryption. Your garage door opener and the radio unit that you talk to, when you push the little button, they synchronize these keys so that every single time you make the request, it's using a different synchronized key. So it's much harder for a device like this to try and emulate because you didn't sync this device. It just recorded a signal.
Couple questions, because I think I know the answers to this. How hard would it be for you to build something like this for your own use and not buy the off-the-shelf brand?
Not hard at all.
A couple $100, $100.
I could do it. No, I could probably do it with $40 worth of hardware.
Yeah, but you're
and
Dwayne. I mean,
but
I
could do it with bubble gum and baling wire and a little bit of tin foil.
This is only a 1 point on the MacGyver scale, is what we're getting at. And
it's really not that hard.
This brand, they're not banning all electronics that have this capability. They went after this brand because they thought that would help. The other thing is, the reason they're trying to do this is because car thefts, one every 6 minutes, 95,000 or 90,000 a year in Canada. And here's my problem with that. My problem with that is this. One, this can't be used to steal any car made in the last 20 plus years. So who's stealing old cars?
That's the reason they're banning it, though.
Yeah. So that's stupid on its face.
Wait. Hang on now. RFID hasn't even been around that long.
No.
Isn't that what this thing is doing?
No, so there's a couple different things. Yes, it can do RFID. It can also do sub-gigahertz transmissions. So your any car that has a remote door opener.
I see. So it doesn't have to be RFID.
No. Most likely what this is like, take my 2009 Honda Odyssey, right? That doesn't do near field anything, but I do have two buttons to open and to, unlock the car and then to close the car. And this can emulate that. But there are a lot of devices that can do that. Like the Hack RF can do the same thing. Right. It's just a little bit bigger device.
But and they're not banning that. They're banning this specific brand. Okay. So it's stupid on, let us count the ways that it's stupid. One, it's stupid because it's only protecting. It's not even protecting, but it's only trying to protect cars that are older than 24 years old. So bad cars from the 90s, which I can't imagine are a big part of the car theft. The chop shops aren't clamoring for a 1999 Dodge Dart. So that's one problem. The other problem is they didn't ban any tool in this class. They banned this one. And this is like saying, well, this brand of lockpicks is illegal and you can't use it. Any other brand of lockpicks is fine.
Right.
So
you can't use the leashes, but everything else
is fine.
All right.
Like,
so it's not really going to be effective.
Well-known, but
I don't think so.
It's not really going to be effective. But here's the thing. Dwayne said it also does RFID, which, my 2006 Prius had RFID.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it's honestly, I can emulate the same thing with a few dollars worth of hardware. Right?
If you're Dwayne. Actually, I think this is why they're banning it, is because it's popular. Right?
Yeah, it's popular. It's easy to use. Yeah. It looks like a kid's toy. So you wouldn't really notice. I mean, you notice somebody holding an 8-foot antenna, although I'll tell you, I was at an airport in DC with a 5-foot antenna while sitting in the airport. With an SDR, and the only person, like TSA people walk by, the only person who came up to talk to me was an engineer, and he's like, "Oh my God, is that a Hack RF? That's so awesome! Like, what do you see in there?" I was like, "Oh, we can see the IDs on all the planes," and he's like, "Oh, it's really cool."
Wow. So what would be better?
But I mean, honestly, what's that?
If they actually put some kind of system on all the cars so that they could track where they are. And when they're stolen, they could go get them and arrest the people driving them. That would be a lot easier.
They do have that. Yeah. It's called LoJack.
It is.
It's been around since the 90s.
LoJack.
But the government won't implement it because of privacy concerns. At least they're not going to mandate it. They're not going to say, hey, you're going to have it on the car. But it's...
Yeah, because then you go to the place of like, well, we suspect that Patrick Hines committed a crime. Can you tell us all the places his car's been?
Yes.
Right.
And that is the
I get it.
So that instead, I view this as it's either ignorance or it's theater. Either they did it because they don't understand that it's the wrong approach, or they did it so that they could say they did something. It's security theater.
Yeah. More likely number two.
Yeah, there's lots of number two associated with this.
Government is good at number two, aren't they?
Oh my God. Hey, Patrick.
Sir.
Have you ever heard, so speaking of building one of these, have you ever heard of a Foxhole radio?
I mean, I've heard of a PRC 77, which I used in a Foxhole.
No, so a Foxhole radio, you can build a radio with 2 small pieces of carbon, a razor blade, and a safety pin.
I did hear about that. I have heard about that. There's a movie. There's a series called All the Light You Can See about a German radio detection operator. And I think at one point he put something together from almost as simple a set of parts. You do have to watch it.
Oh, see, now I got to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. But I know that like, so there's all sorts of ways to manipulate radio systems. Like radio systems they're fascinating to tear apart and understand how you can receive signals and send signals and trick systems and that sort of stuff. But, so there's nothing magical about the Flipper Zero. Actually, the Foxhole radio is more magical than the Flipper Zero in some ways, but.
Well, I think that sounds like the end of our show. Thanks, Dwayne, for bringing us to a screeching halt. That was great.
Way to arch our mellow.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, man.
Bringing it back.
All right. Well, have fun, kids, with all this good information, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
On Security this week.
Bye. No flippers in Canada.